Okay, DC. Now this is how you revamp yourself. First off, shout out to Zack Snyder, man, for putting on a complete masterpiece. This is the Justice League movie that should have been out to compete alongside movies like the Avengers and Ant-Man and everything that was coming out. All the entire 21, 22 movie Avengers series for the Infinity Saga. If you're going to compete with an entire saga with 6 characters, really like 8 or 9 if you included Lex Luthor, Martian Manhunter, Darkseid. Like, yo, this was the way it was supposed to be. I don't know. Well, actually, I do know the story of why Justice League got redirected, but I don't even want to get into that. That's the business world. I just want to provide the entertainment factor, the knowledge of the entertainment. Anyway, I just saw Zack Snyder's cut Justice League. That movie felt like I was watching Justice League Unlimited, except without like Hawk Girl and Green Lantern and the Martian Manhunter. But besides that, it had an extended. Every scene that was missing, it seemed like it was just extended or it's completely new. It almost felt like a whole new movie, except for certain scenes already that's familiar. Like, but even the fight scene between Superman and the Justice League, like when he was fighting them after they resurrected him, it's a little confused. Um, that felt like an entirely different scene. They had an extended Amazon fight. I like the fact that they touched more on who was there. They had the gods, they had Zeus, they had Poseidon, they had they had Ares, they had the lanterns. Like, yo, I like the fact that they showcase this version showcase more of the Amazons and what they're able to do. And the fight between like different nations coming together. You had Man's World, us. You had the Atlanteans. You had the Amazons. You had a lantern there. Like, bruh, that was a super team in itself. That it made more sense once you see it. It made more sense. Darkseid came to Earth the first time instead of it being Steppenwolf. Like Steppenwolf was never meant to be that powerful. So the fact that the first version of this movie had Steppenwolf as like the first big bad that the Amazons and everybody faced, it was ridiculous. If you look at Steppenwolf in the comics, he's the general. He's under Darkseid significantly. His rank is high, but him as like power, his power level, his abilities, things that he could do, he's way under Darkseid. So the fact that it took Zeus, like, come on, we talking about Zeus, one of the most powerful beings in fiction and mythology. And mythology, you had the Amazons, the rest of the gods. Like they had the old gods. If y'all are not really familiar with the old gods and new gods, New 52, the old like pre-crisis, post-crisis. If you're not familiar with those storylines, then when you hear things like new gods, old gods, it's not really going to make sense to you. So you would have to dive into, I would say, Flashpoint storyline all the way up until now to really get familiar with certain terminology they use in the movie because it's been a lot of revamps, especially from the 80s and 90s to now with DC Comics. Since DC Comics has had all of these different people to come in and write different storylines in order for the comic book to go in a different direction, they had to change a lot of storylines and they used Flashpoint to really revamp. It went from Flashpoint to an Injustice story. You had the Outsiders. You had um, Watchmen universe intertwining with DC now. Doctor Manhattan entered. You had Doomsday Clock. You had Dark Dark Knight Metal, and all of these Perpetua, all of these different beings from the multiverse of DC Comics coming together, forming different storylines. So you had things like the old gods, which persisted of the regular gods of Earth, like the Amazons, the old Atlanteans, the old lanterns. All of them were considered old gods. Then you have the new gods, people like well, Trigon is considered an old god, even though he's an interdimensional being. He's still considered he's one of them because he even looked at Darkseid as a new god. And but anyway, I like the direction they went with this. This was a more pure Justice League film. They had the extended Barry Allen and his dad, the relationship they had that more in the movie. They also put more of his abilities and the explanation of it on a layer of time. Even though they had that in the original, they had the explanation of the Speed Force, like the small little explanation. They're not going to go as detailed. If you're looking for them to go as detailed as they do in a TV show, then come on, that's ridiculous. That's a show. 20 episodes a season to talk about the Speed Force. This is a movie with they got a few hours, and each character has around 30-45 minutes each. So it's not really you're not really gonna go that deep. Plus, the Speed Force is a heavy explanation. Then you start bringing up the multiverse, energy, and everything that connects with time, space. Speed Force is too complicated for them to have in just a 4-hour movie. It sounds long, but the movie has so much character development that was missing from the first one, man. It was crazy. The Speed scene where he saved the girl and got the job at the dog place. He said he had 4 jobs and was squeezing all of that in one schedule. Also, it was like, yo, when he first started this, before he had his suit, if y'all notice, if you've seen the movie, then you notice when he had tore himself out of his clothes. I like when they do that because it shows you that, yo, speed characters, especially, we're not talking about regular speed characters. They don't just run fast. They have the speed force. There's energy that projects from them and that they go through. I like the fact that they show their clothes or their shoes or something burning off. I like the fact that they show his healing process of his quick healing abilities. I like the fact it was a lot. It was a lot in this movie. They really went further with Barry. This is all spoilers. I wouldn't wait 8 minutes into explaining this movie to say spoilers. But anyway, they did a lot more with Barry Allen. It really felt like he was the fastest man alive in that movie. It didn't feel like the first version where he was just klutzy, comical, and oh, everything is just bubbly fun. I never saved anybody, I just pushed them. And yo, he pushed the shit out of people in this movie. This, you gotta watch all 4 hours. All 4 hours. Even the whole Zack Snyder thank you in the beginning. Bro, we've been waiting on this since 2017. If you can't watch this, then it's no need. You either not a fan, you probably dropped interest from it. I don't know, but it was a lot in here. They had Cyborg origin with the car crash and losing his mom, gaining his abilities, him being in the football team. They had a lot of his origin on here. A lot of his real origin in this movie. Even to the point of him explaining just in depth his abilities and how just how powerful he is on Earth. I mean, think about it. Most of the world is run by tech, and he could easily hack into / control, manipulate all forms of technology on Earth. And he even has boom tubes, people that know about his real abilities, the teleportation devices used from the mother boxes infused within them. So he got boom tubes. Diana, Wonder Woman felt like Wonder Woman a few times in this movie. It really felt like, yeah, this is another godly character. I can't stand when they water down the most powerful characters just to showcase somebody else that's nowhere near of importance or of stature than them. I like the fact that in this version you've seen her speed with bullets and just combat period. People forget that Wonder Woman is one of the quickest characters in comics when it comes to combat. She can keep up with Barry and Superman in hand to hand combat with speed. She's one of the strongest characters ever. So one of the most powerful and agile. She has so many skills. Her knowledge. I like that they expand on her knowledge of the world. She knows history. 5,000 years old. Good lord. You should know something they were studying. I hated the fact that in the first version of it, they just made them all seem so basic. Even Batman made him more resourceful. He's Batman. He has tech. He has skills, hand to hand combat. He can do things. That whole, oh yeah, you like, okay, they didn't have this scene in there like they had in the first one where him and Diana was arguing and Arthur and Cyborg was arguing. They didn't have those two arguments. Everybody in the team, like, they had their little differences. It was kind of weird, but they didn't make Batman just seem like he was just so frail, and they actually had a focus point on his suits. I like, yo, this is Batman we talking about. He prepares for everything. Why is it that he wouldn't have a suit prepared to take on these type of creatures? You studying them. You got visions about them. You're the most paranoid person. Of course you would be preparing. I like the fact they show Alfred using tech from Kryptonian ship to show that. To show like, yeah, we're making material that could withstand certain blasts from them. I like the fact that it was a fear of Superman and like, yeah, you taking over the tried to take over the earth the first time and all these people drove you out. You see you've been watching the earth, you at least been watching the process of what's going on and how powerful they get either with tech or whatever. Most alien races seem to do that. They always been watching the earth for a minute, or they've been here before, or they were already here. I like the fact that they have a fear of Earth's champion. It's Superman in the comics. He's Earth's champion. Yes, make him a threat. I don't like what Marvel do with Thor. I don't like what they do with Thor. Thor is one of the most powerful characters in fiction. In fiction, period. So to make him watered down or he's less than Captain Marvel and all that dumbass shit, it's like, yo, it's Thor. He's one of the most perfect and powerful characters in fiction. Odin made Thor to be the most perfect being in existence. Most perfect being in existence. You can read this. So I don't like that they watered down all their most powerful beings besides Doctor Strange in Marvel. I like the fact that in DC they show like, yeah, he's a worldwide universal threat. He can threaten most species in the universe. Is Darkseid afraid? Should he ever show he's afraid of Superman? No. But he do know that Superman is a problem to deal with. But yeah, man, they showed the black suit, you know. Um I think the fact that people know the black suit is after he died when he fought Doomsday. And since they had a Doomsday fight already so early, like you should have been seeing a Doomsday fight 2 movies after this first Justice League movie. Like Justice League 3, you should have seen a Doomsday fight, and then the fourth one he's resurrected. Now they gotta fight Brainiac or some shit. I don't know, but I think that's the reason why watching the Justice League the first time drove the audience away. It's because of how the movie came about. We seen Avengers, the first Avengers, second and third Avengers come about, and it had this development. All these characters intertwined with each other. They had a civil war. They had a Age of Ultron. They had the first Avengers. They had Ant-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Winter Soldier. They had all of these build-ups to get to the climax of the movies, to get to Endgame. So when we saw Justice League just spur, like, for one, we saw Batman versus Superman. We ain't even see Superman and Batman public enemies. If you know that storyline, when they was like kind of against each other, but then they was on team with each other as well because they had to work together. So, and that was one of the first times they really actually fought and really showed like, yo, you can kill me, but I can still kick your ass with some tech and a little bit of your weakness, whatever. But anyway, not to get off of that, it's just that I understand why people were so away or drawn away from the Justice League movie. And then when you saw it, it was so puppyish and cute and cuddly, and they tried to go dark, but it didn't really work. So then they went to this. It looked like you're watching an Avengers movie, but repainted with DC comic characters. I like that Lex Luthor's speech of the red capes are coming, and everything he was saying in Batman versus Superman came to life a lot more with with this direction of the movie. Zack Snyder really brought out everything. It was incredibly detailed. There's not much to really criticize besides, I mean, things you probably just want to see more of. I wanted to see probably the Flash save more people. I'm always wanting to see more of but they had a lot of the Flash in this movie. You couldn't really I say this, you couldn't really enjoy everything he was doing because of the special effects. That would be the only for real critique. The special effects for the Flash was just so overwhelming sometimes. It was beautiful, you know, people like lights. They like seeing lightning and all of that, but it don't need to be that way so much that you can't enjoy him running past something really quickly and you just seeing something stuck in the air. Like he had the scene where he saved the girl. To me, when he's the way he saved the girl and the weird little put your her hair out the way, take the hot dog, put it in his pocket. I think that was such a match to what we saw in X-Men Days of Future Past when Quicksilver did the whole running scene. Now that scene is more extended; it had more in it. But I think this was a match. This is a the Flash type of thing. But I don't know. The Flash is more powerful and way more faster than Quicksilver anyway. But still, I think that scene was good enough. Uh, now, Darkseid Dark Side appearances, his speech, slight tease of those damn Omega beams. Those Omega beams were so clean, man. I thought they was gonna really fumble and trash that whole thing, but yo, Dark Side with just that Dark Side, even the weaker version of Dark Side, it felt like a bigger threat. It just felt like a bigger threat than Thanos. Thanos, we knew you know the Infinity Gauntlet story, but if you was to just come into comics, it would really, and this was like your first or second superhero movie, you would really, I believe you would really see the depth of why Darkseid is the biggest problem they have on their hands thus far. Besides, they get somebody like Mongol or Brainiac or Mitzi Pitalik or Trigon or somebody, then yeah, Darkseid is the biggest threat they have right now, and one of the biggest threats in DC comic history. So it just felt like he didn't need much to wipe out all of them. It felt like if he would have stood there and tried to fight, it would have been a real different outcome of that battle. Like Steppenwolf, he's a problem ish. But for real, in the comics, he's never meant to be that powerful. Darkseid really did the worship of him. Everything for Darkseid and him ass kissing, Steppenwolf ass kissing. It felt like that was supposed to happen because with Thanos is supposed to give you that feel also because of his intelligence and his knowledge of artifacts and magic and science. That's what makes him such a threat, and his actual combat level. He is a Titan. He do come from Titan. He comes from the Eternals and all of them. So his power levels is already up there. But you really fear Thanos because of the artifacts like the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Stones, the Heart of the Universe, all of those type of things. With Darkseid, man, those are just seeing them red eyes itself is way different. I like Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. I like this scene right here, and I'm gonna end it here. What made this scene connect so much better when Lois saved Batman from killing the Justice League, basically, but really from killing Batman. I like the fact she was walking past. Why was she walking past? Because Martian Manhunter impersonated Martha Kent. So, and she did it to get Lois to continue writing at the Daily Planet. You know, he was saying through her like, "Yo, you're the only person that I connected with that understood." I think in the first movie, she was saying that to Martha, but they in this version, Martha was saying it to Lois, the same thing, but Martian Manhunter was the one impersonating her. So it got her to get up out of her bed the next day, like, "All right, you know what? I am gonna go out. I'm gonna go do this." She went and did it, and on the way to work, what she see? You guessed it, her ex fiance about to kill old boy. It's like, yo, Batman was about to die. They wrote this Superman way darker than what you saw in the first version. Do you believe? No, fuck that. Heat vision. That's what I want to see. I like the fact that the suit was withstanding the heat vision. I was like, see? Resourcefulness. Batman makes sense in this movie. He feels like Batman. His suit, his armor feels like Batman shit. It don't feel like just some dude with a couple of suits. Oh man. I like Martian Manhunter coming in at the very end saying like, "Hey yo man, you need some help? We're trying to apply. How do I apply?" Batman tells him to go online. You can apply on JusticeLeague.com/league openings. Now, I'm just ready for more involvement with Martian Manhunter. The Flash. Did he reverse time? Was that an alternate timeline? Because they all died. They failed. They failed. He, I don't know if that was supposed to be him in the Speed Force or because he was saying he had to go faster than he ever went. And he was doing the shit y'all probably more familiar with in the TV show where he'll like run around in a circle. He did this when he was trying to save the beach from the wave hitting, and he went so fast that he went back in time for I think 24 hours. He did this in the show, first season of The Flash. Watch it. But on this one, he did similar. He was just going around in a circle, got hit, super healed up. They all died. Then all of a sudden, he went faster. He went beyond the speed of light. He was like, I gotta break my rule. So that's what makes me think like, yo, he went back in time. As he was running, he was rewriting history behind him. So he saved them for a couple seconds. So it's like, wow, you already created another timeline. And then at the end, you seen the Joker appear, and Joker was addressing how many alternate realities or timelines do you gotta realize like, yo, you just ain't got the balls to die yourself and save these timelines. Basically trying to mess with Batman intellect into thinking that Batman is the reason why all these alternate realities, the League is dying, or this person dead, or this person wasn't saved, Lois died because you ain't save her. But I don't know. Y'all like this Joker? I like this Joker. Give him a chance. You can't keep saying Heath Ledger and and uh, um Jack Jackine Phoenix. I forgot how you say his name, but anyway, you can't keep saying like those are the only good Jokers and all that. Like, bro, Jared Leto has his own lane of Joker. I think he did. Yeah, this was a good showcase of that Joker. Suicide Squad, he acted. I say his acting was a little more tuned, but the writing for this Joker felt like the Joker. It felt like the Joker. It felt like another version of the Joker. I enjoyed this. Y'all gotta stop hating. But anyway, that's the end of this review, man. Go check out the movie. It's 4 hours. It's enjoyable from start to finish. I'm telling you. There's barely any real dry spots. Everything, even the boring or the down scenes, you could say, the down scenes have meaning to it. It's depth, it's development. I'm out of here.